A beautiful Friday morning to you and welcome to the big story on Quest Television. I am Praise Soje. Now this morning we're taking you through a couple of stories that have been making headlines and got so many Nigerians talking. First of all, fresh details has emerged in the House of Representatives investigating into the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council. As the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Dede Wilson Jack admitted that her office failed to carry out adequate due diligence before granting key approvals to the purported agency. Also, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation blamed one of its officials for diverting an official letter that allegedly helped sustain the scheme. The ongoing probe centers on allegations that Prince Adeyemi Adeniyi, who presented himself as the Director General of the PFIPC, secured official recognition for the body using allegedly fake appointment letters, fabricated legislative documents, and other forged government records, despite the agency having no legal backing. The House committee is investigating how several federal institutions processed and acted on the documents leading to the purported agency receiving official approval. The House had a committee probing the alleged creation of the PFIPC and the Presidential Economic Advisory Council without legal backing also said it had uncovered what it described as a web of fake appointment letters, fabricated legislative documents, and fictitious government offices allegedly used by the promoters to obtain official recognition from federal institutions. Well, Wilson Jack acknowledged that her office relied on documents that have now been found to be false before approving an authorized establishment and recruitment waiver for the agency. Let's just have a snippet at what Dede Wilson Jack said.
Received the letter of appointment and the establishment. What we are saying is that my office received the letter of appointment and the Establishment Act. And based on those documents and also based on the interaction with the representatives of the PEAC and PFICP, they went on to issue the authorized establishment and later the recruitment waiver. We now, having seen all the facts and observed all the documents, concede that we ought to have carried out more due diligence in the discharge of the duties of the office in issuing an authorized establishment and a recruitment waiver to the PEAC/PFICP. Mr. Chairman, if I may explain further, we do know that the PEAC used to exist as an ad hoc organization of its own. And the documents that were presented had PEAC/PFICP. However, like I said, due diligence may have detected whether those documents were actually authentic.
All right, so one of those persons who has openly admitted to, lack of due diligence in ascertaining the essence of this agency. But we'll come back to analyze this story. Let's take you to Plateau State and Osun State, where we know that in Osun State the elections is fast approaching. But in Plateau State, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will conduct the 2027 general elections in internally displaced persons camps in Plateau. Professor Sam Egu, the resident electoral commissioner in the state, disclosed this during a one-day workshop in Jos. Egu said that the commission was committed to ensuring that no eligible Nigerian, including those displaced by conflict, was disenfranchised. He noted that the electoral security remained a major challenge in the state, particularly in communities affected by communal clashes and banditry. And he also explained that the commission is collaborating with security agencies, traditional rulers, and civil society organizations to develop strategies that would guarantee peaceful, free, and credible elections. Meanwhile, in Osun State, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amapoton, SEN, has warned that anyone attempting to disrupt the August 15 Osun State governorship election or engage in vote buying would face the full weight of the law. Amapoton gave the warning on Thursday in Osogbo during the signing of a National Peace Committee peace accord by 14 political parties contesting the election, alongside security agencies, traditional rulers, and other stakeholders, according to a statement by the commission. And he also said that the commission had completed 11 of the 13 activities on its election timetable, with only the end of the campaigns on August 13 and the election day remaining. Let's take a listen to some of the sound bites from that meeting.
Close of PVC collection yesterday, a total of 322,822, representing 60% of the newly registered voters had collected their PVCs. Consequent upon this, the Commission has reviewed these developments and, in the interest of inclusivity, decided to extend the collection of the PVC till Friday, 31st July 2026.
We are committed to leveraging technology to prevent manipulation, to ease the process for voters, and to deliver results with accuracy and speed.
We have conducted massive voter education and public awareness using multiple channels and platforms, and they are still ongoing.
The close of PVC collection yesterday.
All right, so that is Professor Joash Amapoton and his team preparing for the Osun State election, which will happen on the 15th of August 2026. One more story this morning. Now, it's about politics. Of course, you know, the 2027 election is around the corner, and the African Democratic Congress, ADC, on Wednesday faulted President Bola Tinubu over his declaration that he's prepared to fight to the finish, politically saying that the president should direct that resolve against terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers instead of the opposition. With killings and kidnappings continuing across parts of the country, the opposition party said Nigerians are looking to the president for decisive action against insecurity, not another political showdown with his opponent. Also, the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has described President Bola Tinubu as a drowning man clutching at political theater to escape the weight of his own failures. Atiku's stance followed the president's recent declaration that he would wrestle his opponent to the finish. Let's remind you of what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said.
And that is what regime. Yes, I've seen that. The challenges are there. I inherited it. I didn't run away. I asked for this job, and I'm in it. Those who will take it from me will try. They will try. All is fair in politics. And it's equal opportunity. And like you mentioned, neutral. They've never intimidated anybody. If political opponents are crying wolves, maybe they are afraid of their own shadows and the uncertainty, and they are in the companies they keep. Not me. I'm ready to learn, but I won't give them red carpet. I won't offer them the leash to tie me and rope me. No. We wrestle each other to the finishing point. That's the truth. That's fair in politics. But to me, I return all the mission schools as the governor of Lagos State. One of you, Cardinal Koge, and is alive to testify to that. I want to be one of the best friends that I have. But the schools are in the states. Preach to them, the governors of your states. They do the job. There's no need for constitutional amendment for that. That is a part of democracy. Choice.
All right. So many takeaway from what Mr. President said. But let's get into the thick of action this morning. Ifeoma Anuku joins me. Good morning, Ife.
Good morning, Praise.
All right. So back to the first story. The head of service, Mrs. Esther Didiwason-Jack, has come out to admit that lack of due diligence on her part, and those around her, actually helped people like, Prince Adeyemi Adeniyi Matthew to, carry on his fictitious activities, within the presidency. What do you make of her admittance? And we also know, just for a moment, we also know that there have been calls for Adeyemi to come and testify, have his own part of the story told before the ad hoc committee set up by the House of Reps. But the police has yet to release him. So all of this is coming at a very, very critical time. But what do you make?
Well, first of all, I must commend Wilson Jack, because Praise, there's this thing that looks like a difficulty accepting where you've not done well, taking responsibility of something that has not gone well. So believe me, the acceptance of she not doing her due diligence is a right step in the right direction, because it helps the House, the committee, who are, probing this situation, to know, okay, you were not able to do this. That could have created, the lapses for this forgery and all that. But at the same time, it's a huge slap on bureaucracy. Do you understand? Because you wouldn't say, it's not something you just wave off. As a head of civil service, there are things you don't overlook or you take for granted, right? Once in a while, it's supposed to be often. That is why that office is there. You check what is being signed, what is passing through desks, because what Nigerians are asking is, how was this able to pass through so many agencies, so many offices that is supposed to pass through, right? Whether or not the budget claim was dispersed, was released or not, whether it's on paper, it is not in account, but it's a huge situation for people to start questioning your capability, start questioning why are you even there in the first place, right? So she admitting that her office failed to verify documents and issue an authorized establishment is a plus. Is she going to get reprimanded? I mean, people are going to talk. She is going to that. That's an open door for acceptance that I've not done well. I'm willing to do better. I am willing to correct my errors. Okay? But then in Nigeria that we are in today, the issue of fake documents, the issue of things that we thought were there but they are not, is beginning to become a norm, praise, because let me give for an example the cases that we have seen where lawmakers' certificates or qualifications are being questioned. And so one may be tempted to ask, or you wonder, how was this person verified? How was this person certified? Were there not people who are supposed to find out if, the authenticity of whatever he's presenting? We as a country and people, the elites who are, or rather the supposed elites, should know better that anything that has to do with documents says a lot. And once it becomes fake, once it's being questioned, the person's personality or whatever you are representing is being questioned, right? So we shouldn't normalize, and this should also be a call for the government to form more committees to check all these MDAs. It's like a lot of agencies need to be questioned, need to check. Last week and last 2 weeks, MDAs have been on the news for what? Not remitting money that they are supposed to remit in the back, the purses of government. And when you hear some of their reasons, you'll be like, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? What are you withholding government money for? And when you start asking for this money, you see people running up and about, giving reasons why they are not even supposed to come and defend what they are saying. Accountability is a huge problem in this country. And I think that is why this fake documentation and fraud is everywhere, because, when you are not accounting, nobody is questioning you. The regulatory bodies that are supposed to question are less concerned. They are so lackadaisical. Then you feel that it's business as usual. And Nigeria will day, that kind of a thing. Nobody will. And especially when you now have a backup, the godfatherism, who know who, where do you belong? So, first of all, she accepted. Awesome. But that shouldn't deter finding out what happened, and of course bringing the people who are whatever that is due to her. Some persons will tell you, okay, for her to accept, maybe whatever punishment might be, okay, she accepted. But then let us set the record straight. Yes.
I'm particularly happy for somebody like Dede Wilson Jack.
Yeah.
But I think her admittance to the mistake is not enough.
Okay.
Because yes, she's the head of the service, and she didn't check the documents well. She did not check the titles, because that's where there was the mix-up happened. But I think, and I strongly want to recommend that Adeyemi comes to the House of Reps, the Haddock Committee, and also gives his own version of what transpired.
The police are saying that he's not supposed to come in the case.
No. I think we should learn to put things or give things their place. Now, this is an independent investigation conducted by the House of Rep. You will not tell me that ICPC will not ask Adeyemi Adeniyi questions.
And how do they ask him the question? Do you expect them to come to wherever you're keeping him in
They will
custody?
definitely ask him. The fact that the police is stopping Adeyemi, or the fact that they arrested Adeyemi just weeks before, the House of Reps started the probe, it's shrouded in mysteries.
Yes.
So I think that And I expect the House of Representatives, even though they are saying that, some people are saying that they are going to go against the law and all of that. This is not about the law. This is about finding answers, and this is about stopping this from repeating itself again. So Adeyemi still needs to come to the House of Representatives and give his own testimony.
Going against the law, are they saying that the law is against him being questioned, or that maybe the pattern by which they want to be questioned?
That is the point.
Do you understand? So if they are saying what they want is, okay, Adeyemi cannot come to you people, then you create an avenue. I remember that the Senate sent a team, Oshomole and his co, to go question about NNPCL.
Yeah.
So they can as well do a thing like that, but you holding somebody whose name is in a big case like this, and of course whatever he says will be of a great help to these findings that they are doing. He says a lot. He says a huge lot, because we're talking about funds here. We're talking about people who are leading this great nation, and against the law. Law is made for human beings, and to operate better at. There should be a way. That's what I'm saying. There must be a way for this young man, you call him a prince, okay, so to answer. What they want is answers. How were you able to maneuver offices? What happened? He might come out today and tell us that I don't know what people are talking about, and that becomes a huge task again. So what happened?
I want to take the next story.
Yes.
Which is on INEC and IDP camps and the Osun State election and the 2027 election. And I want to say very, very straightforward this morning that I want to believe that INEC know the responsibility that is resting on them right now. And they understand the weight and the burden that is on them right now. Now, the fate of Nigeria rests on INEC. The fate of Nigeria for the next 4 years rests on INEC. The president came out just a few days ago to say that INEC is neutral. First of all, I want to say that it's not even in the place of President Bola Tinubu to vouch for INEC. It should be the Nigerian people,
see for
the
yourself,
electorate, who see and say, okay, yes, INEC is neutral. We live in times where institutions are questioned. Just a few days yesterday, the NDC and the ADC raised an alarm that they found the Lagos State Commissioner of Police in an APC meeting. Now, it is not one sergeant or one officer.
He's the number one in the state.
The number one commissioner of police in the state. You see, so you now see where people believe that state police will be used
and
by governors.
It's not like he's going to replicate the same meeting with other political parties. Thank
you very much. So you now see where people say that state police will be used by state governors to hijack,
of course,
and
achieve their personal.
This is what we are saying. So, talking about IDP camps, I'm happy that they are taking the election to IDP camps so that those in IDP camps will see. They will look at their predicament. They will look at what they have suffered. They will look at the people and the loved ones that they have lost, and that should drive sense. That should drive consciousness into them that I don't want to live in this kind of way or life for the next 4 years. And they should form their decision they are going to take on the 16th of January 2026. Now, to Osun State election, a lot of things have been happening in Osun State. We've seen violence, we've seen people killed, we've seen properties destroyed. The police have lost, that hold, control, and the number one person in INEC, that's Professor Josh Amapoton, who a lot of people still don't believe in his capacity, to lead the institution called INEC, and to lead a credible election in 2027, even though we've seen a lot of little success, here and there in some states, Anambra State, a little, Ekiti State, even though it was still shrouded in vote buying and all of those things, but at least they have done one or two things that will make Nigerians believe. Now, from my perspective, though, but you see, INEC still need to go a step further in making Nigerians believe that they can clamp down on vote buying. It's not. It is beyond press statements or press conferences.
Yeah.
It is action. See, I strongly believe that we are in a time, where Nigerians are tired of stories. They are tired of we will.
See,
they want to see action.
Results.
So what INEC need to do in the upcoming Osun State election is to even though it's almost difficult to completely eradicate vote buying, but to the barest minimum,
yes,
eliminate vote buying. We cannot have a proper society or a proper election or proper leaders if vote buying still has its place in our electoral system.
Yes. Do you understand? This case of moving the voting to IDPs, I have a concern about that, right? I know that INEC will be claiming it's about inclusivity, including everybody to be part of this exercise, voting exercise. But what happens to government's effort to return these displaced persons home? Please, you know what it means that you leave your house comfortably to go to any polling booth, to go exercise your right, and you return home. Now it has deteriorated to the point where they now bring the ballot boxes to you people to come and vote, right? And after voting, you remain there. For me, it's a failure, to be honest, because for over years, these people have been there. They don't even have places to call home. And with what we are seeing happening in Osun State, I mean, 2027 is not even here yet, and violence is here and there. How secure is the IDP camps? Have you considered the risks that might erupt during this election? Because as far as I'm concerned, these people who are in these IDP camps, it's not like they are living a palatable life. Praise. No. It's not like they have the basic amenities of life. And this is where you are going to, what if what we are seeing in Osun bursts out in a place like that? It will be a double jeopardy. When they did their deal, you people carry chaos to come and give them. So sometimes I don't know how our government prioritize things. Okay, if you so care for them, why didn't you make steps of returning some of them home, even if not all of them? And you're saying, okay, the numbers of the people who are in the displaced camp have reduced drastically. So that you know that you're using the camp maybe as an exercise ground, so that you know that you are putting security measures in place should anything happen. But now they are living, this is where they call home, this is where they live their lives, and you are carrying something you cannot even vouch is going to be safe to them. So I don't know about Osun State. We are testing water, so we are testing water.
Yeah, well, the truth is that necessity is laid on INEC.
Yes.
And I know
with the budget, with what they collected for these elections and for 2027, Nigerians are watching.
No, INEC is still saying that even the money is not enough, or that they have not even gotten, the complete money that will finance the elections leading up to the end of the election, both the presidency, the governorship, and the National Assembly election. Nevertheless, I know that INEC knows what Nigerians expect of them, and that should be demonstrated across board, from state off-cycle elections to the presidency in January 2027. INEC knows there are still a lot of questions about the timing of the election. The fact that it's coming, first month of 2027, where maybe a lot of people will still be in their home and in their villages still celebrating Christmas and New Year. And then with the fact that there are a lot of people that still don't have their PVCs. We saw what happened in the election of 2023 and the controversy post the 2023 election of vote buying, and that some people will still believe that the current administration in power did not actually win that election. INEC knows the mystery that surrounded the electoral reforms.
Yes.
They know, and they know that Nigerians, the restlessness in Nigerians will triple if the 2027 election is not conducted in the best way possible.
And may I add the fact that Spirit spoke through the Mr. President to say that INEC is what?
It's fair.
It's
neutral.
fair. It's neutral. They are going to give us credible results. It is not, the onus now lies on Professor Amupitan. See, we know that the leadership of INEC is by appointment, right? And he was appointed. And the administration that appointed you is expecting credibility, is expecting fairness from you. It is not that Nigerians don't need to add anything. So you have to prove to Nigerians that yes, you're capable, that everything is going to be in a very transparent, clear as crystal. If not, then you have not just disappointed Nigerians, you have disappointed the person who appointed you, whether or not it's literally or ironically. He trusts that your administration, as far as INEC is concerned, is going to be credible. And Nigerians are watching. Nigerians are watching. So all these elections happening in states is going to be a tip of an iceberg for us to see how 2027 is going to look like.
All right. Now, I want to talk about, let's go to the next topic, which is about the ADC and President Bola Tinubu. So President Bola Tinubu came out to say that he's going to fight to the finish. For me, I see nothing wrong with such a remark.
Yeah.
Because what 2027 presidential election is already built for is already seen as the toughest, is already seen as the most competitive election in the history of Nigeria.
Globally, it's been watched.
We've seen US Rep Ryder Moore come out to say that the US will monitor Nigeria's election because of all the noise that have been made and all the things that has happened. Now, we have seen a lot of political parties, the registered and re-registered. We've seen institutional weakness from the Senate to the House of Reps to the police to civil society organizations. We've seen political parties like PDP, PDP has already, is like a sinking political party. We've seen total state capture of governors by the APC. Governors that had nothing to do with APC in the first place joined the APC. And there have been a lot of political interpretation to it. So I can understand the fact that the ADC criticizing the president's fight to finish remark is justifiable from their end. But I have to say that there is nothing there, because in any competitive race, nobody goes into a match, whether it's a boxing match or a football game or a basketball game, solely because they want to lose. Even though they know that level past level,
there are chances.
They will still fancy their chance, and when they see the opportunity, they will take. Now, in this, President Bola Tinubu is standing at a vantage position. A vantage position in the sense that he has better people right now on his side. He has more of the states on his side. He has the total government apparatus on his side. He has the finances on his side and everything to win the 2027 election. So it will be a shame if the APC lose 2027 to another political party. Nevertheless, I know that President Bola Tinubu understands, that the people he is going into this race with are equally determined as he is. Peter Obi is determined. Peter Obi virtually tours Nigeria, and not just Nigeria. He has been to, I think it was in Berlin the other time, talking about Nigeria and the corruption and all of the ills that is happening in Nigeria. So you see that he's a determined presidential candidate. You look at Atiku. Atiku has consistently and constantly criticized all the policies and all of the things that President Bola. So President Bola Tinubu is coming with that knowledge and being a master strategist himself. You understand that, look, this game, I cannot, even though I'm the president, I cannot afford to be slack. So I think the ADC is just making noise. You don't expect President Bola Tinubu to keep his mouth shut.
So there's this thing about speeches, right? It is, how did the Bible put it again? Faith comes through hearing.
Yeah.
And whatever we hear is actually coming from speeches. So ADC Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi may fault what Mr. President has said all he can. But he shouldn't forget that they are also saying their own part. They are also making their statements known, right? You don't expect somebody who is vying a position with you to just keep quiet. Do you understand? There's this thing we say in our street parlance, that when you're fighting with somebody that you know that is stronger than you, even if you are not able to beat the person down, at least you scratch the person with your nail, so that you will be saying, yes, I was able to scratch this person, right? So I know that for me, like you rightly said, this is a political banter. It's expected. It will even get worse as the election nears, by day. But then trying to say that it's a misplaced priority, that he should fight banditry, terrorism. Do not forget that Mr. President inherited this insecurity thing. It didn't start in his administration. So if you think that there are things he was not able to do or he's not doing enough, what happened to the previous government? Where were you? Why didn't you call? So that's why I say it's a political banter. Whatever you say is true. Whatever, when people are yapping themselves, when you are exchanging verbal abuse, is there everything that you tell the other person, your opponent, that is true or false? So it shouldn't even make. Of course, he's trying to encourage himself as well. He is sitting on the very hottest seat in this nation, right? And everything, sometimes, to be fair, sometimes I wonder how Mr. President, relax, like with what is going on in Nigeria. Some persons might think that he doesn't care, but I don't think so. The last time I checked, he's a human being. Whether or not he's intentionally, deliberately doing what he's supposed to do or not, he's a human being. And at a critical moment like this, where he needs the support of every Nigerian to come back for second tenure, whether he did well in the first one or not, he will work hard towards it. If he's talking to the bishops, talking to primary school, kindergarten kids that I know, what did he even say? That he is going to fight till finish. Like, I will fight, I will put everything possible to make sure that I come back second term. If Atiku is in the same position, won't he say the same thing? So political banter is expected, and responses are expected as well.
Right.